This is how I caught the stock that exploded over 120% this morning on SRXH. This is hands down the best momentum trading strategy, and if you're not already using it, I don't know what you're doing. So give me like 60 seconds. Now again, that stock today was SRXH. It was one of our top gappers in pre-market, so again, you know we were watching it. Now, of course, this was on my pre-market watch list this morning for my students over 40 cents. As you can see right here, that 40-cent level is where this thing based and took off back into the high of day. So how did I know? Well, first things first, anytime you have a massive gapper like this, we want to check the daily time frame to identify our big picture levels. In the case of this here, we look back to the left and it's very, very clear 70 cents and $1 overhead were your next key levels to the upside. Now, once we identify that, we can see the 40-cent level all the way to 70 cents off that daily high, which makes all this through here my play box. Now, I traded this thing like 10 times for profit today, and every single entry was using a very simple supply and demand based strategy. Now, entry number one came after market open on the simple pivot out of this area of demand from pre-market. Now, looking back in pre-market, we have this wick off the high here, signaling an area of liquidity. This becomes an area of overhead supply. So we know that this drags on across area of liquidity. In order for this to become an area of demand, again, price has to first confirm above, as it does right here. And then, of course, we also have VWAP on the moving averages beneath price too, giving us added confluence. That way, I was able to nail this literally perfect entry off this pullback off of VWAP for the move back up through high of day with this massive, massive move. And then we had this area of rejection off the highs from pre-market, so we took profit up into this level and waited for confirmation to the upside. Now, once price confirms to the upside, of course, we're taking profit out of this range here, waiting for it to break back above for an entry off of the confirmed pullback. And so again, price pulls back off that previous high, as you can see right here, and I nailed the pullback entry for the move back up into the previous high of day once again. I was not kidding when I said I traded this thing like 10 times today. It was a literal money printer nonstop. And then guess what? You see here, this next leg to the upside, and again, price forms this wick off the high. This again ends up being an area of liquidity, which again, once price breaks above and pulls back, is now an area of demand. And so yet again, was able to take a perfect entry off these pullbacks here off this previous high of day for the move back up through the next high into its next range overhead, where I then played it 2 more times. So again, we have this area of liquidity form off the high, price breaks above, we're looking for a retest for entry out of this area of liquidity once more. And then you can see from my very last entry here, my 10th win in a row on this, nailed the perfect pullback off this previously formed area of liquidity at the high of day. And I got to move all the way back up through the previous high of day once again before I then wrapped up my Friday within an hour and a half of trading for a super, super, super easy trading day, trading the most obvious stock in the market today. So anyways, that is SRXH and how I caught it 9 times for profit trading with my students this morning in the 7-day free trial. If you have not already claimed your spot to that 7-day free trial, make sure you do over the weekend. That way you're ready to go for Monday's trading day. Let me know in the comments below if you traded it, how you traded it, and all I know is I'm ready to crush it again on Monday morning.